I want to show you what's been going on this car right here. I've gotten a lot of popularity on one of my videos that's roughly around a year old on the full body build. A lot of people have been asking me about that car. It is and I already have a VIN number for it and a title for a 1967 Ford Mustang. A lot of people have been confused about that, saying it's a kit car. It's not a kit car. When you build a car brand new, just like this one right here, the new body, it's a reproduction body. They're licensed by Ford, and you get a title for a 67 Ford Mustang, but it does take a little time. Your state has to come and inspect it. But that car's over in the house garage. We're talking about this car right here. So let's go ahead and show you exactly what's been done to it, about that power by the hour and the fuel system and the fuel tank that we showed in the previous video. All right, when you're looking at the front of the car, of course, we've already seen the Coyote engine. Also pointed out the wiring. Now this wiring right here, this is the body harness. This is what comes factory on your car. Well, this is an updated harness with the updated fuses for the 67 Ford Mustang. Now, it has the power by the hour harness on this engine. It retained all the factory engine harness. The only thing different that it didn't retain, the wire that runs back here to the alternator, and the wire that runs over here to power the compressor. Now that is a vintage air compressor. That right there is for the direct for the Coyote. And it comes with a few little brackets right here to put that on. It pretty much goes right in the spot. It's smaller than the factory one, so it fits easily between these frame rails. Give it a little look of that. Okay, now the wiring, it all runs around the bottom and then over to back there where the starter is and the lead. Runs up the frame rails and over here, you can see. And then the wiring runs around and into that little computer slot made right there. Now let's go on the inside of the car real quick. And there you have it right there, which runs up to your little box. And this is also powered by the hour fuse box. And right there. And all the wiring over here, that's all modern wiring, but it plugs in just like the factory wiring does. It's just, you're looking at different fuses. This right here is the more modern fuses and doesn't use those old school style. Of course, now with it being Coyote, you got to make a little bracket there for the fly-by-wire throttle so it fits on the floor of the firewall, the toe board, because you want it to fit on the toe board just right, and you don't want any carpet to rub the side of the pedal. Wires here that run down. This does have a manual transmission in it, but if you are running the automatic, you can run your shift up and shift down for buttons for paddle shifters or button shift with this power by the hour wiring harness. Now this is the fuel system that I showed in the box. This right here being what releases your vapor. When you're filling up your fuel, it releases out the vapor to keep it from, of course, spitting back and filling up with air. This right here just has to be mounted higher than the tube. So you got your gas gauge, and then you got your fuel pump. You got your return, and then your fuel runs out to your tank, to your engine. This right here is what plugs in to that. Now this right here is what's going to be running the Coyote. This is also from Power by the Hour. You can, of course, get these right here. These tanks, they sell them at CJ Pony Parts. They sell them at Kentucky Mustang. You can go Jegs or Summit. They also have them. Now there's the wire that runs over here for your mass airflow. Of course, right here, which will run real nice and hidden. This regulator right here on a Coyote, it should be at 55 PSI for a naturally aspirated, non-boosted application. So this is the mount here on the firewall. Good little spots already made into the firewall for it. And then the wires running down for the fill and then return. And then the one that runs over here right into your rail over here. And then you have your vacuum, which right here, you just push this right here pulls right off. You take this tube out and replace it. They sell a kit that has a little nipple that screws into there, and that right there will run your vacuum line over for your regulator. Now let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air and show you the lines up under the bottom of the car. Now going underneath it, here's the wiring harness that I was talking about from Power by the Hour, which runs over through here. These right here, these leads will run to a power rack. If you have a power rack and pinion, these right here are what you're going to use. This car is not going to use a power rack. It's going to use a power rack for the old school style power, not electric, but a pump style off the motor. And the wiring harness from the engine harness that goes to the alternator, you won't use that wire. You'll use the Power by the Hour wire, which will run into that. Now this is going to be using, you can use the OBD plug gauges. This car is going to be using original style gauges. So it has the original style oil pressure sending unit. There's a better look at the compressor from Vintage Air. And the wires that run down through here, mount up just like the factory, and into the starter. Well, that's just a test starter. And then over into the back. Of course, you got your wire that runs up here for your speed sensor. And then for your fuel system, which is way up there, there's the lines for the fill and return, which will run all the way down through here and then back in there for the tank, which now you have the tank. And there's a good look at the transmission, the T5 in there with the QuickTime bell housing. Of course, this being a T5 to Coyote, of course you got to use the either Mach 1 or Cobra style flywheel and clutch. There's the AJE front suspension, and then that's where the computer's mounted. A lot of people may comment, hey, why is the computer there? It's going to get water on it. This car will have inner fenders in it, so there's not going to be any issue with water. Here we're looking at the Vintage Air kit. This is just like the kit we put on the Chevelle. There's a few little different things. This kit did come with the round bezels, where the Chevelle didn't come with those. And it's slightly different, but here's the Vintage Air kit for that. The column, and then the condenser and brackets are in here. Be sure to check out some of my other videos and other playlists of things just like this car right here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. If you view the channel, it's not something you've got to pay for. Everything on here is free. Some channels, of course, they make you pay to be a member and get information on stuff. I don't make you do that. It's all free for you to watch, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching.